You've gotten to the heart of an idea that I have very close, near and dear to my heart, right? Because I love hatching eggs. I just want a Pokemon Go official singular tube sock for my egg hatching needs.
Oh my God.
If you know, you know, and it's probably not what you're thinking unless you actually know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sure. One, yeah. They come in packs of one.
We call them swing socks, right? And they're good. They don't get stretched out over time. Or hula socks because you're swinging them around like, or sling sock. A sling sock.
A sling sock.
Sling sock.
There you go. We workshopped it for 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go.
You're tuned into the GOCast podcast, your one-stop shop for updates, news, tips, and community in the world of Pokemon Go. Thank you for listening.
For April's Community Day, come on out and catch a Sundae on a Sunday.
April's content update has been released. No foolin'.
And more on this episode of GOCast. Hello and welcome to the GOCast podcast, episode 319. It's March 25th, a Tuesday evening. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle.
Hiya.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing this week?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we'll stick with that. I'm doing good.
Wow, I don't think you realize what you've done. You set a precedent. Wow, an upper boundary, like
the week has barely started.
The week has barely started. Yeah. Although we also didn't have you last week, so I guess you could characterize your previous week.
Well, last week was great. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Had 3 days off in a row. Went to go see a
gosh.
show. All good times. Paid for an overpriced meal.
Hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. That's what you got to do. All right. Well, I'm glad to have you back personally. And I know people listening are, because we got a few emails that were rather hopeful that you would be on this episode. And I don't blame people. I'm sorry you had to listen to me yammer for 40 minutes. There was a lot of content to go through, including one topic I'd like to revisit with you, Kyle, before we get started. But before we get to that, let's take a look at our goals that we had set 2 weeks ago, if we can throw ourselves back to where we were. It was the Catch Mastery Archon event, and we set some shiny goals around that because we were both able to do it, and then some other ancillary personal things. So the first one for you was just one shiny Archon. How'd you do?
I did get one.
Did you buy the ticket?
No, I did not buy the ticket. I did all of the free encounters, and then I did, I don't know, like another 15 or 20 like field research before I had to go to work.
Okay. That's not too bad. It's pretty bad,
It's pretty bad. It's like 1 in 60 is pretty bad, especially when we talk about Totodile at the end of this here, just real briefly. So.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Totodile even happened. That's right.
That did happen.
And Mega Absol Raid Day also happened this weekend.
Yeah, that's okay.
I did a few remotes. That was about it. I'll be honest with you. Anyway, you got your shiny Archon. That's great. Reach Giovanni for research is.
No.
Why?
I have not. I'm here to tell everybody I have encountered. So I have not actively gone out and drove around to try and find all 3 leaders because I'm not going to do that. I don't care enough about the leaders to do that. But I am checking my rocket balloons every time I can. I'm at 14 cliffs in a row. 14. I'm not joking. And I only need a Ciara. So
man,
I guess we're going to carry this one over, apparently.
I guess so. It's not for lack of trying. I mean, 14 checks is still a lot, even if you're just doing balloons.
That's on top. That's just in a row. I also got some Arlos at the start too, because I had to actually do some.
Oh my
do
gosh.
One of each. So,
well, sorry. I mean, I like seeing my boy Cliff, but I understand when you're looking for somebody else, how frustrating that can be. so funny if he slides. He's like, hey, you're like, gosh darn it. Like, how about 200,000 experience?
I did do that.
Excellent. Yeah, I would imagine so. So 2 out of 3 for you, sir. Not too bad. I wanted to get 2 shiny Argent. So what's funny, Kyle, is that I bought the tickets, so I got double the amount of encounters you did from those tasks, right? And I got double the amount of Argent from it. I also did a handful of tasks afterwards and didn't get one. So our rate is like essentially the same, which is pretty wild.
I feel like I saw a lot better rates online. But
yeah,
I will say, just the comment though about that day before we move on, there were not enough Kabuto and Ammonite spawning.
Mm-hmm.
There was so few. It's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, you were saying that. Now, were you walking around an area? What were you doing when you were playing?
Yeah, I mean, I was driving through to like hit up points that I knew I was going to encounter both stops and some Pokemon.
Yeah.
I basically went the same way that I went for Fuecoco Day. Just I had less time to do it. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did not get a shiny of either of those. Not that I needed them. Worth noting.
Absolutely worth noting because they were supposed to be boosted, or rather, they were boosted.
They were boosted. I just was not lucky.
Yeah, I did not have as much of a problem, but I was also on purpose in a high spawn density area. I went to the college, and I had a little bit of. It wasn't that it was difficult. I found that for the spawn density, even in a place with high density, having to catch 10 of each several times in that research was annoying. It was bad design, I think. Now, if you were drowning in Kabuto and Omanite, that would have been cool. And I actually would have preferred to see instead of 10 of each, do 20 Kabuto or Omanite so that you're not wishing you find one and you find the other, because that happened to me a couple of times.
Yeah.
But need to have the task to do too. Overall, though, I think I had a fine time. I finished it up in an hour and a half. I didn't stay out over long, but I did get my 2. That's the important part for what we're talking about. Next, finished Catch Mastery Research and Ticket. I did finish both, despite some of the stragglers I had to chase down. That's fine. 50 eggs hatched. Now, here's the thing. For that particular week, I hatched 49. But for the extra week that we had since we've recorded, I hatched like way more than 50, like 70 or 80 or something. So I'm going to be kind to myself. And I've definitely equalized over my goal, I think. But that's just because this next one, rank 9 in GBL, I did not do. This upcoming week, Great League is coming back, and so I will actually be doing my sets. But I can't be bothered to do Master League. It's just not fun for me.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I just don't feel the nuance. I understand that there is a meta there, and there are people that play it, and they play it well, and they're good at it. I'm not saying there's no skill involved. I'm just saying whatever it is that it requires that Great League is different in, I don't like it. I just don't. So that's 3 out of 4 for me. Or 2 out of 4 if you're holding me really, really super honest about that 1 egg. And maybe we could just for the sake of it, but there you go. Okay, cool. We'll talk about more goals at the end of the show as we usually do. Let's also talk about Totodile Community Day Classic, because that was this past weekend and we didn't get a chance to set any goals for it. So, and Mega Absol Day, like we said. So Kyle, tell me about your experience. What happened with you for Totodile Classic?
So I wasn't going to go out just because I didn't care too much about it. Not that big a deal. But like an hour in, I was like, okay, well, I got to go out and spin a stop and stuff. So I might as well go and like let the plus catch some stuff or whatever. I got my dog to actually come in the car with me, which never happens.
Oh,
and
really?
She's terrified of car rides, but she likes,
so nice.
She likes, but hates them.
Yeah.
And when we go down side streets with the window open, she likes it. So
drove
around for about 30 minutes, got home, just kept it going. Checked later that night. I got 6.
Whoa.
I got 6 shiny Totodile. I think I caught like maybe 75 total.
Wow.
Like
that's some Chikorita Day levels of shiny luck, brother.
I had 3 in a row from the plus. Not even like hand caught. No, just 3 in a row. And I'm like, what happened today?
I'm gonna tell you what I told everybody in LA. It's just that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the plus is good. Oh my gosh.
So like, yeah, that's fine. I'm glad I got some shinies. I'm gonna go, transfer them. Maybe I'll transfer them right now.
Did you buy the ticket, do the research and all that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. All right. I went out and I did the day, but I did it as quickly as I possibly could, and while still doing the ticket and buying it and doing the research. I think I played for 45 minutes, maybe. Walked away with 6 shinies, but one of them is a 15-15-14.
Oh man,
really close, but happy all the same. And Total Dial 98 has now been evolved all the way up, so that's good news for me. But it was fine. It was a classic. The eggs were quarter hatch, so I was loving that. That was great. Great. We love it. Yeah. Then for Mega Absol Raid Day, I did a few remotes. Did you do any at all?
No, not at all.
Were you invited?
I don't know. I don't think I was. I don't think I opened the game during the windows.
Power to you. Raids. Power to you, man. Okay. All right. Now that we talked about Pokemon stuff, and before we get started in the actual show, I would like for us to take a quick little pit stop, because last week during the solo show that I was doing, there was some big news that I covered. And there's no way we're not going to get your thoughts on it. But we did talk about the official announcement, what has been accepted rumor for weeks now. We finally got the real announcement that Pokemon Go, as well as a couple of other game titles from Niantic, was being purchased / acquired by a company named Scopely. I'm not going to characterize this any further. I would like to hear Kyle's thoughts straight from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Oh man, I've seen so much conversation online, although it's died down in the last 7 days. I'm not gonna lie, no one's talking about this anymore.
You're the only person, except for maybe one other person that I know, that is really in the mobile game space. Mm-hmm. You're aware, and so I'm dying to know what you're thinking.
I unfortunately don't play any of Scopely's other games, so I don't know any of their practices necessarily. Mm-hmm. So I'm not negative about the acquisition, but I'm anxious about it. I don't remember what I told Chris via text 2 weeks ago when we first talked about this. My wording was better there, but it feels very scary, not just because it's changed, but because the mobile space is such a volatile and scary space for gaming.
Yeah.
That any unknown is such a huge deal. And I think we're really, why people have stopped talking about it, we're really in the wait around and find out space.
Yeah, I think so. I also think that a couple of the statements that they came out, saying, hey, the whole team is going, hey, ideologically we see eye to eye on this, hey, Pokemon was on board, right? Those things I think have done work to bolster people's sense of safety.
Well, I guess I think the problem I had with that, aside from the fact that it's a lot of corporate speak, which is fine, it's what you would expect in this regard, is we have no way of knowing the problems that we might have with Go, whether they're design choices, whether they're programming choices, whatever you want to talk about, what stems from the Pokemon Go's developer team that is sticking around, and what stems from Niantic's upper management or the Pokemon company's upper management, and who has the final say and stuff like that. So do you know what I mean?
I do, but I think we have a better sense of that than you might think. Because they're talking about like the Pokemon Go team in particular, which is separate from the higher ups at Niantic, right?
Yeah.
And so they're going to be separating from some of the values, so to speak, that Niantic has, even though Michael has said in a couple of interviews since that they still like those things and think that those things serve the game well. I don't think we're going to see those leveraged to the detriment of a gameplay thing now that it's actually at a proper game company, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of like, of course, Niantic has their 4 core values that they really designed their games, their AR experiences around.
Yeah.
But how much of that is leaked into the developers of Pokemon Go's belief of what makes Pokemon Go? Do you know? Because we could already disagree with them maybe fundamentally about remote raid passes. You know, they may still hold those beliefs. We have no idea. I'm not really going to dig up that conversation right now. It's just an easy thing to point to.
Yeah.
You know, and how they might feel about interaction distances. You know, we had that whole deal that we've gotten to keep this entire time. I don't think that's going to change, but it's just another idea of the developers are allowed to hold the same views that Niantic was. And so we don't know where that divide was.
I will say that when asked in the trainer tips video with Michael, when asked about the remote raid pass change, Michael didn't say no. It didn't say anything to the effect of, that's a bridge we've crossed, we're not going to cross it again, or something like that. Like, and I'm not even, and that's not even saying, right, that remote raid passes are coming back, or that I hope they would come back, or whatever the case might be. It's just, I think, an example of him being like, I guess we'll see. We don't really know. Like, anything could happen, you know? So.
I think some of the things that I have seen the community be worried about is something I'm not even remotely concerned about. And it's the way the game is monetized. I've seen a lot of people concerned about that. And I'm not gonna lie, Pokemon Go players are so brainwashed.
Yeah.
Our game is incredibly monetized. Like, really, really hard.
Yeah.
It's not pay to catch a Pokemon in the wild. Strictly speaking, you can buy Pokeballs. It's a very bad idea, but so is buying anything in a mobile game. So, but, you know, if you want to continually hatch eggs, if you want to continue to do raids, or you want to continue to do max battles, like, there's so much monetization in our game currently. I don't think we need to worry about watching an ad before you can start your raid battle, which I saw people being silly about.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And somebody confirmed that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, well, it's just an example, obviously.
Okay,
but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Come on.
I mean, that was my number one concern too. But you know, insofar as that cheapens the game experience, I think that was the big fear. I think it's not that pop-up ads are a bummer; it's that they feel cheap.
But on top of that, we already get a ticket every single event that you could spend $2 or $5 on. So, like, the game is already asking you for money everywhere. I don't think we need to worry about Scopely's potential decisions around monetization.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I think that's a good take.
I also don't think we're going to see anything for like 6 or 8 months.
Probably. At least past GoFest season. Yeah.
Well, just like even after like acquisition is fully done, they're probably not going to change things immediately, because it's just, unless they have a great plan, it's bad business.
I feel like if they had a great plan, they probably would have been upfront about their excitement of the direction and talked about it a little bit to sort of combat some of the negative sentiment.
Yeah.
Because if they're committed and they're excited, they're going to do it, right? So why not? But I think the last thing that I wanted to know about from your perspective was the idea that they're actually going to keep their entire team, and that they're not just going to let people go, you know, later.
Yeah.
Do you think
Well,
they're going to stay, or do you think they're going to do layoffs?
I think. Well, let's revisit this topic. Someone set a calendar event for 12 months from now, and we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, I think that's actually right. It's so funny is that you and I have a hard time speculating, even like when we're kind of allowed to. We're just like, I feel bad. I don't know, like, and nobody knows. So why say it? Like,
Yeah, but I mean, that's me saying I don't think that's going to hold true in a year's time.
Sure.
They can say that and they can follow it until they know there won't be as much blowback.
It'll be interesting to see where like Ed Wu and Michael Steranka are, and some other big hitters over there.
Yeah,
that'll be the most telling. I think rank and file devs and marketing folk and everything else that comprises that team. You'll see some turnover just because, and I said this last week, you'll see some turnover because people use these types of changes to just do a career change. They use it as like, oh, this is transitioning. I will transition to something else I was planning on doing anyway, or I need a change, right? That'll happen. But the bigger names, if they go, that'll be real telling.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who knows, they might expand too.
They could.
You know, we talked about how Niantic let go of so many employees. Was that 2023?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And, you know, we kind of felt that effect for a very long time, but I don't know if they ever fully recovered in that regard.
No.
So.
No. Certain operational things for sure. But we see a lot of it. We see a lot of that experience, so it's easier for us to say that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think that's good. And I'm really eager actually to hop into the news because we have a really exciting event to cover first.
So exciting.
I'm very happy you're here, Kyle. Okay, let's get into it. Yo, what up? It's the news. Alrighty, I hope you guys are in for a treat. A frozen treat, if you will. April 2025 Community Day Vanillite is going to be Sunday, April 27th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, with the featured attack being Avalanche. That's a charged attack that does 90, or rather, I always want to say it does 90 damage, but it has 90 power in trainer battles and 85 power in gyms and raids. Get it right, Chris.
Yeah, it's different.
It is different. It is different. I understand.
It is. We're not actually memeing. It is different.
Yeah. There's going to be a special research for the community for $2. It will have 3 encounters with Vanillite that have a Might and Mastery themed special background. Additional encounters with Vanillite, 1 premium battle pass and 1 rare candy XL. There's going to be that special background timed research for you catching a Pokemon every day after the event. That one's free. It's kind of the norm now. The event bonuses, the big like flagship bonus is going to be 3 times experience for catching. And then the usual 2 times candy XL if you can, lure modules, and incense will last longer. Snapshots, special trades, 50% off for the trades too. The usual suite. But the big one is 3 times experience for catching. So if you are still needing experience, mark this one for sure. Field research, as per usual, will be out there too. Catch Vanillite to earn rewards such as Stardust, Great Balls, additional encounters of Vanillite, and more. There's showcases. There's going to be an Ultra Community Day box in the web store and some event bundles that may or may not be worth your time if you look at them. So that's pretty much it. But the meat and potatoes is the ice cream, Kyle.
Yes, it is.
So Vanillite, huh? What an interesting choice for April.
I think it's a little early for its timing.
Yeah, you think that this is like a peak summer or a winter thing?
This is definitely it should have been summer or winter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like May or June would have been much better. But still, like I get the idea. Everyone's like, why is this here in April? It's ice cream. We eat ice cream in April and May in those time periods. It's okay. But yeah. Vanillite.
You're not excited?
Look, we talk about this a lot, and I meme about it a lot, but Vanillite and its family is still probably top 2 worst Pokemon for me.
The shiny's good though.
The shiny's okay. The shiny is okay. I wish it was a little bit brighter, but the shiny is solid. I like the blue to pink that some Pokemon have going on. So
Yeah, I think it's a little disappointing though, because Vanillite's like really pink, and then the other two are the next two stages are really purple.
yeah. So here's the thing for me with Vanillite. It's a Pokemon that looks like ice cream. I want to make this very clear. Looks like ice cream. It's not ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me something out there decided that its choice of form was going to be the food that people eat, and you're not going to be like poisonous or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I don't
It's
like it.
it's one of those weird evolutionary things where it's like, oh, everything turns into a crab. Like it's like that, but ice cream.
Sure.
Convergent.
Look, I'm gonna
divergent,
say.
convergent?
Look, I'm gonna say I don't like Vanillite, but I'm also a massive hypocrite because Applin is amazing.
Yeah, but
so
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's a fair comparison. Applin is peak, and even if you
but
like
it's
Vanillite,
food.
you can't.
It's food, and but like, see, that's the thing. Here's the thing: why I have issue with some food Pokemon, especially. I have sort of this issue with my Celery and Alcremie too. Is it's just food. Like it's just food.
Okay,
It's not super creative, whereas Applin is actually the worm inside of the apple.
what about Sinistee?
Sinistee gets a pass because it's a
type?
ghost type. And so it's like taking over like an inanimate object type of thing. So
Yeah.
it works a little bit better.
Yeah,
But it is, I think Sinistee works a lot better than Poltergeist does personally.
oh,
But
I guess that's a hard one because Poltergeist has got one of the best names ever.
Poltergeist is a great name, but then
Yeah.
Sinistra, right? What's its evolution's name?
You're pushing the limits of my knowledge here,
It's-
man. I don't remember.
It's like they tried to do the reverse evolution thing there, and it's
Yeah,
they led with the champion, and the
they
follow-up
did.
was not nearly as good.
It's true.
But yeah, so I take offense from Vanillite. It's up there with Klefki.
It's like the reboot Cinderace problem. Reboot's so good. Cinderace is like an okay name.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's Vanillite Community Day. I mean, love it or hate it. If you want to experience, get out there and do it. And the shinies are cute. And think of it this way. If you get the 3 shinies during this community day and you don't care for the Pokemon, you won't have to ever worry about those shinies ever again. Even though this Pokemon is around, it's like an uncommon spawn at best.
Yeah.
So this is, it's not like when we get, a run of the mill sort of Pokemon, like when we had like an Abra community day, right? And you're like, oh, but I've seen a million Abra. It's not like that. So worth poking your head into for sure. But speaking of poking our heads into stuff, we do have one more piece of news, but this is more of an all-encompassing sort of thing. And this actually encompasses this community day as well. It's the April content update. And we're going to go through this picture by picture here. I made it a list so we can talk about it pretty quickly. But as always, this will be linked in these show notes. Unfortunately, this takes you to them posting this on X. I don't know where else they post it. It'd be really nice if they did, considering how divisive X is as a platform now. They really should post it elsewhere. And if they do, somebody please let me know. Maybe on Instagram, actually, now that I think about it. I'll have to look. But anyway, the link will take you to the X post because that's where I've always found it in the past. Featured Pokemon for April will be Cubfu, which we already knew. It's because that story should continue in one of these events here. Dynamax Entei and Dynamax Passimian will also be there. For Max Mondays, March 31st, it'll be Scorbunny. April 7th will be Passimian. April 14th will be Wooloo. April 21st will be Sobble. And April 28th will be Phalanx. So get out there and get those if you need them. I don't know actually if Passimian's going to be super duper good or not for any of the settings. I think we have its typing already covered in other places, but we'll see.
I think it's just mono fighting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
we do. 5-star raids March 31st through April 9th will be Tapu Lele. April 9th through April 21st will be different depending on which hemisphere you're in. If you're in the Western Hemisphere, you're going to be seeing Blacephalon, and if you're in the Eastern Hemisphere, it'll be Stakataka. And they must be listening, Kyle, because we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Blacephalon and Stakataka's shinies are debuting this time. And I saw an image posted in our Discord by Artemis Dragon, I believe, about these shinies. And boy, they're both pretty handsome, but the Stakataka is gold.
Yeah, they're both good. I like it. Yep. The Blacephalon is wonderfully ugly, which is what you want it to be.
100%. I'm with you, man. And then lastly, for 5-star raids, April 21st through May 1st will be Cresselia. The Bananager is back. Moving on to Mega Raids, March 31st through April 9th will be Blaziken. And then from the 9th to April 21st will be Sceptile. And then April 21st through May 1st, you might think it's going to be Swampert, but no, it's Mawile. It's Mawile. Shadow Pokemon over the weekends between April 4th and May 4th will be a Shadow Registeel. So you can go out and grab one of those if you haven't in the past. Now, here we go. List of events that are happening in April. April 3rd through the 7th is Stunning Styles. We covered this a little bit ago. April 5th is Mega Audino Raid Day. I don't know if I was saying I don't have Kyle here. I don't know if we should be excited about that or not, but you can at least be excited that it's
not excited about that.
No, well, it's finally coming out at the very least, which is nice. April 6th is Tyrogue Hatch Day. Ooh. April 9th through the 14th is Spring into Spring. I'm really hoping that I get an opportunity to catch more Deerling and that I can round out some of the shinies.
Definitely just Spoink event.
Spoink. Yeah, Spring into Spring.
Only Spoink.
I'm into it, actually. April 13th will be Sparring Partners Raid Day. April the 16th through the 22nd is a triple question mark as of now. Your guess is as good as mine. April 19th is Gigantamax Snorlax Max Battle Day. What a mouthful for an enormous Pokemon. That news broke last week, so you didn't get a chance to weigh in, Kyle. Just, pardon the word choice there. But are you excited for that at all? Are you actually going to do it?
No, definitely not. I like Gigantamax Snorlax. I do.
Yeah, of course.
But not enough. It's not going to be enough to make me coordinate with my local community to do this, especially because it's not going to be relevant at all, except maybe as like a tank. So
even then, man, I think your Blissey might be better off.
Yeah, Blissey, or honestly, like Metagross. That steel typing gives so many resistances.
Yeah, that's true. So, April 24th through the 29th is Sweet Discoveries, which we don't know about yet. April 26th through the 27th is Dynamax Entei Max Battle Weekend. And April 27th is April Community Day, which features Vanillite. So how ironic having Dynamax Entei and Vanillite Community Day happening at the same time.
Oh, that's my God.
Pretty funny. A battle of fire and ice. Oh, Kyle, breaking news.
My 6 o'clock balloon was finally Ciara.
Yay. Jesus. You know what they say about that 6 o'clock balloon?
We keep talking about this. No one needs to know now.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
Cut it. Spotlight hours are the last thing we have to talk about here. April 8th is Meditite with 2 times Transfer Candy. April 15th is Fomantis with 2 times Evolution Experience. April 22nd is Morlul with 2 times Catch Stardust. April 29th is Aber with 2 times Catch XP. And you might be like, Chris, you missed April 1st. I did, because we don't know what it is. They're keeping it a secret.
Niantic missed it.
No, they didn't miss it. It's left out on purpose, omitted, So there's that. I will also say, if you're very interested in power to you if you are, there was an entire list there was actually 2 of these 8 or 7 panels. 2 of these 7 panels are what are going to be in max battles rotating every single week. And it's really like the same ones over and over and over again, more or less, with the exception of, Caterpie April 7th through the 14th is interesting because I think we've seen it once, like very recently.
It's currently in Max.
Yes, right now. And then Max Battles.
I'm sorry.
Don't let them hear you. Don't let and then April 14th with the event that it's in, Pissimian will be there, so that's notable to a degree. I will say my favorite is whenever you see Dynamax Pidove, just because it looks so stinking huge. And
I saw that today. I was like, that's a thing? Oh my god.
Yeah,
who is doing this?
Me.
Why?
Because it's funny, it's funny. I like it. Don't judge me. Get that out of here.
I'm judging you, but okay.
I know you are. That's okay. It's part of the charm, my friend. How did Sierra go? Did you tell her I said hi?
I'm still fighting.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, when you're done, if it's appropriate, make sure you tell her I said hey.
I mean, absolutely not. Okay, but to call out still for the spotlight, Morlull is worth bonus Stardust already. So 2 times Stardust for Morlull is a good day if you're looking to plan for spotlight hours.
That's right.
So yeah,
not less lull, more lull. Mm-hmm. That's how you remember.
Okay.
All right.
Thoughts on the content, April content?
It's fine. I mean, there are a couple of events that I'm looking forward to. Stunning Styles looked interesting enough. Tyro Catch Day appeals to me personally, but I'm not going to pretend it appeals to everybody. And this Sweet Discoveries could be potentially very cool. And this question mark event, I hope that it is worth the wait / hype.
The question mark event. It has to be Cubfu, right?
I'd imagine.
It has to be, because at the start they say the featured Pokemon are Cubfu, Entei, and Pissimian, and Cubfu is not seen anywhere here.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure that we actually already know that the seasonal research story will continue with one of the events. I think that's why it's in there.
But like, does that mean we're gonna get another one? Like,
no, I just think that
they're like Pokemon.
I don't know. Dynamax Caterpie should have been featured, man.
Yeah. Okay. See that, but that's all I'm saying is, why are the featured Pokemon Entei, Dynamax Entei, and Dynamax Pissimian? I don't understand.
Pissimian's a crazy choice.
It's like you could have put Blacephalon or Stakataka in there instead. That would have been even more appropriate. That's what. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Mark my words. Question mark. Cubfu. I'll be wrong. That's okay.
Are you telling me that these optics could have been better?
Yes.
Is that what you're really saying to me? Our Niantic marketing team?
Look, all I'm saying is that Scopely can't do any worse.
No, that's the take I came here for today. That's it. That's like the sober, like we've come full round. Like it's so bad, it can only be good.
Here's the problem. They're keeping everybody, and that includes the marketing team.
Oh, that's
Niantic
fine.
Doesn't write the Pokemon Go X posts. It's Pokemon Go that writes them.
That's very true. It's very, very true.
That's all I'm trying to say here.
I mean, there's no way in a million lifetimes that TPC isn't also like, this is the verbiage that we use. Make sure you use it. And then they're just like, well, we don't want to get it reapproved, so let's just copy paste this to next month's event. You know what I mean?
It's Cutify Spotlight Hour.
It's Cutify Spotlight Hour?
Yep.
Time to put the old plus on. Oh boy. Oh, hello, Totodile 98. You're a sweetheart. Great. Okay.
So close to finishing so many rocket researches.
How many more chances do you need for that one research, by the way?
1.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Anyway, enough inside Pokeball.
Oh, I also am gonna finish this with that Ciara.
Oh my gosh. Let's go.
Research or
Level
challenge.
48.
Oh my God. Hey, 3 free raid passes. I have the 49 now to do. I'm gonna cry.
Some of us just have all the luck, man.
We're gonna move on now.
Okay. Well, there's no gear up this week. And we are at the end of the news, which means that we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, it'll be Pokélore time.
And we're back with this week's Pokélore. And we're doing Nickit and Thievul, the fox Pokemon. Again,
Woo!
with the uniform branding.
We love it, man.
Nickit is an orange-maroon fox-like Pokemon with a slender body and a large head relative to its body size. It has long black ears, white spots on its head that resemble eyebrows, and small dots around its eyes that gives the appearance of tears and mask-like markings around its yellow eyes. Nickit also has tufts of fur on both sides of its head, and it has a white belly and chest. Its feet are black, and its tail is long with a black tip resembling a sack. What?
Resembling a sack, man.
What?
Yeah, it looks like a sack. Like a canvas bag.
What type of bag? Okay.
You know.
A cunning thief, Nickit enjoys stealing food from others instead of spending their time finding food on their own. They have incredibly soft pads that compress lightly when in contact with the ground, allowing them to move silently without being noticed. They can use their tails to sweep their paw prints, so it can be hard to locate them. It has a fierce rivalry with Purloin. Okay. I'm going to disagree on the resembling a sack bit, but
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. It's cute. The animations are cute because it like moves and then it sweeps where it just moved and stuff.
It's kind of crazy. What does orange maroon mean?
It's like
Thievul is brown. Brown. It's Pokedex color is even brown.
Is it really?
Yeah, well, on Bulbapedia.
That's what I was just about to look at. Oh yeah.
Am I colorblind? Like, I see the orange. There's no shades of maroon in here.
I mean, if you combine orange and maroon, it kind of makes brown.
Yeah, when you combine 5 different colors together, you are probably going to get to brown.
Yeah. So It's not inaccurate. It's just inefficient.
Thievul is an orange-maroon Vulpine Pokemon with a moderate build, slender limbs, and a long tail. It has white crest. Oh my gosh! It has white chest fur that puffs out from his body and vaguely resembles a cravat.
Oh.
There are 2 long black ears atop Thievul's head, as well as black fur around its eyes that resemble a domino mask. The black whiskers on the end of its muzzle are in the form of a pointed mustache, and the white markings above its eyes resemble eyebrows. Its paws, back, and tip of its tail are all black, and it retains the flared tail tip of its pre-evolution Nickit.
It looks like a sack.
Looks like a sack, apparently. When Thievul finds a potential target, it will secretly mark a scent on them. Thievul then uses that scent to track and stalk its targets. By using its lithe body and claws, Thievul steals the target's food and eggs from them when they least expect it. Boltund is an enemy of Thievul, and it competes with Liepard for territory. What? Sure.
Is it lithe or lithe?
Might be lithe.
I don't know. It's one of those words where, like, you've only ever read them. You never
I'm okay with being wrong. I'm never going to use that word in a sentence.
I honestly don't even know.
All right. For stats, max CP at level 40 of 2136, and at level 50 for an unimpressive 2415.
Didn't even make it to Ultra League, baby.
Didn't even make it to Ultra League. I mean, that hasn't stopped Pokemon in Ultra League before.
No,
but
spoilers. I don't think moveset's not.
I don't think Stevile's it. I could be wrong.
No.
172 stamina, 164 defense, and 172 attack. Oh, it's got too much attack.
It does. Yeah.
Best moveset: Snarl with Night Slash and Play Rough. Yeah.
It can also know quick attack, but so what?
Yeah. Tugalarian wheezing.
I've got interesting news for you.
Yeah.
Vulpix and Ninetales are also the fox Pokemon.
That's unacceptable.
I thought they were the fox fire Pokemon, but they're not.
Like, I could accept Vulpix being the fox Pokemon. but like,
Yeah.
Ninetales needs another title.
Yeah, I think so too. As much as we don't like that on the record, we like it when they keep their category. But I think you're right.
Also, just to confirm, Thievel is bad. In PvP. Just to confirm, in case anyone was
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, these two don't know what they're talking about, even though it clearly has to be. They could be wrong. No, thank you for confirming, Kyle.
Yeah, it's like rank 500 in both Great and Ultra League.
Oh man, that's such a shame. I really like this Pokemon. I really do.
I mean, I think it's okay. I don't dislike it. It is very much Route 1 energy, which is okay. That's what they're there for. But some Route 1 Pokemon have big energy, you know?
Alolan Eradicate.
Fletchling, for example.
Yeah.
Has big energy.
True.
I don't remember the name of the first evolution. Kilowattrel, the first evolution of that from Paldea, is really good too.
I think it's Wattrel.
Is it Wattrel? Okay.
Yeah, it's Wattrel, and then the evolution is Kilowattrel. Yeah, you had it right.
Yeah, like that, big energy. So this is like, it's like little Route 1 energy, which is okay. It's on par with something like a Puchaina or something, which is solid.
Yeah, that's okay. And it is dark monotype too, which is always nice to see. It not being bogged down by a normal secondary typing or anything like that.
Yeah, 4 times weakness to fighting.
It's just so rough. With no benefit. Absolutely zero added benefit. I think one of the reasons why I like this Pokemon, and I do mean both, but I mostly like Nickit because I like the name. I think the name is very clever. It's very cute and evokes some sort of positive emotion in me where I'm like, okay, you're my buddy. That's all right.
Yeah. Good naming. It's got good naming.
Thievel's fine, but Nickit is, I think, the winner of those two.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. That means it's time to move on to PokéPoll.
Yes, sir.
Last PokéPoll was, if you could fuse any 2 Pokemon, which would you choose, and what would that fusion look like? Bonus points for typing, moves, and any other details. First response from Lemurio, and they said, the Infinite Fusion Generator is absolutely one of my favorite websites, and where I discovered that Spiritomb as the face plus anybody is always hilarious. That being said, my favorite one I've made is Spirit Guza, but I think it would be great if Fusion could make Hisuian Voltorb Lanks.
I think it's Spirit Quaza, actually. So there's a Spiritomb and a Rayquaza.
That makes it.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
That's interesting. Voltorb Lanks, which would be 5 Hisuian Voltorb in the formation of a Phalanx. It's theoretically a fighting and electric type, and its one move would be like a countdown where you did more damage the longer you charged, but you'd also damage yourself. Okay, that's all.
That's pretty slick.
Okay. Hisuian Voltorb Lanks. Okay.
Yeah, could you imagine that you roll up with your boys and one of your attacks is having one of your boys blow up and you throw it at them?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit like, I was thinking almost more like Powerplex from Invincible.
I was thinking more like Rex in this last season of Invincible.
That's fair too. That's okay. Yep. Anyway, move on. If you haven't watched Invincible, it's great. It's not appropriate for children though. So just not appropriate. Next spot's from Kelvin. He said, "Hey guys, does my fusion count if it's 2 of the same Pokemon?" Well, Let's see. Do you remember in the 3rd Pokemon movie where they mentioned if an unknown is on its own, it's pretty weak, but when they are together, they are powerful? And then they made the girl's dad a talking Entei or something. Hear me out. Idea is that when 2 fuse together, they also get the ability Schooling, like Wishy-Washy, and then hundreds of unknown mold into one. I'm torn on its design, though. I'm picturing the tar monster from the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, with loads of eyes or similar, to a beholder from D&D.
Ooh.
Oh man, if it was just a beholder, like if the schooling form of unknown was a beholder, that'd be perfect. or both of them mixed together. If any aspiring artists could try to make this, that would be great, because I have not done this design justice at all. Typing will change into a psychic dragon type, and the shiny will change to red, indicating it's dangerous. I don't know if it's lore, if not, but in my head, unknown is black because it was written with a black pen, and the shiny is blue because it was written with a blue pen.
Nice.
But whoever made this only had a red pen. I love it. I'm sold on the idea of a beholder type
Oh,
Pokemon.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And
yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Wishy-Washy. It's such a fun, unique concept.
Yeah,
I'd love
definitely.
to see more of that in Pokemon.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The beholder thing, I think I am also going to hang my hat on. That's awesome. Also, any reference to the live action Scooby-Doo movies is always welcome. Forever.
Those hold a soft spot in my heart. No matter how much garbage they get, I love both of those movies.
I watched the 1 and 2. I watched pretty recent, like in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
They hold up.
They're bad, but they're entertaining
in a good way. Yeah.
They're
great bad movies.
Casting is perfect. It's it's so good.
Oh,
it's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, those movies are weird, but if you haven't seen them, those are my childhood. Those are part of my childhood.
Those are barely child appropriate.
They're no, they're child appropriate in the way that all the cartoons we watched as a kid were child appropriate.
I guess so. That's fair enough. Yeah.
I think the second one less than the first one.
The
second one's more child inappropriate.
Yeah, the first one's trying to be more evocative, and the second one is like it found its stride. You know, it's trying to tell a more meaningful story about friends.
God. All right. Next response from Sarah Lauren. They said, "Hey there, team. Well, my monstrous hybrid would be something that I couldn't find an image for. Shiny Guzzlord meets Gengar, possibly the shiny Mega Gengar. This is the ultimate mouth/eating Pokemon, and to be honest, it will be the stuff of nightmares. It would, of course, have to be white in coloration, with maybe a little hot pink for good measure. Its mouth have Gengar's teeth and Guzzlord's tentacle/tongue things. Special moves, maybe some new move, Gnaw, Snap, or Power Chew.
Power Chew.
It. Naming it, though, is the tricky thing. Do we call it Guzzgar or Genglord? Where would at GOCast Kyle stand on this one? I think it Guzzgar. I think is better.
Yeah, I think Genglord is a little problematic.
Yeah, well, Genglord, but yes.
Yeah.
I pronounced it properly.
Genglord.
Yeah. I love this though, although in my head I'm picturing just like, you know how there's the biblically accurate angel?
Yeah.
Instead of being all eyes, it's all mouths. So like there's one giant mouth, sort of like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly like Yogg-Saron from World of Warcraft. If you don't know, I'm not going to try and spell that. Don't worry about it. But,
Yoggsaron, I think.
Yeah, with a hyphen, I think.
Apostrophe.
But like, yeah, like think Cave of Wonders, Gigantamax Gengar. It's one giant mouth, but then like instead of hands, it has like giant mouths, sort of like Hydreigon, for example. Yeah, all mouths. Yeah. I love it. And I love the idea of a new signature move like Gnaw.
Snap is also good. Power Chew. I'm kind of in love with that naming convention. I will say, by the way, you were right. It is a hyphen. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh my God. It's not appropriate for this show. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Well, it's not inappropriate. It's just not related to Pokemon.
Okay. Well, you got to share it now.
I'm watching a show on Dropout, which if no one knows about, it's very funny programming, like from the people who do College Humor and stuff like that.
Yeah. Camo just squealed, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He loves Dropout.
Oh, Dropout's so good. I got us a subscription for our anniversary for the whole year because we were watching stuff on YouTube for it. They have a show called Actually, where they read off statements about franchises that have one thing wrong about them, and the people on the bench have to buzz in and say what's wrong. Yeah. And every once in a while they do like mini games. One of them is fantasy spelling, and they say a fantasy character's name and you have to spell it.
Oh my God.
And it's so hard if you don't know it. Mm-hmm. The second episode was Kill Jaden. And I'm like,
No!
oh my God, I know how to spell that.
Yeah.
Nobody else did. So
there's a lot of vowels in that name.
That's another World of Warcraft character for those listening. I'm sorry. It was my moment. I was like, I could do this.
I'm playing classic WoW right now, and I gotta tell you this: if there was an entire category based on the spelling of subzones in Night Elf territories, we would all just be doomed.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
It's just all vowels.
Yeah, and apostrophes. Yeah,
yep.
Just oh my gosh.
All right, our next response is from Sirius, and they said, "Hi, Chris, and hopefully Kyle. I've listened to the podcast for a while now and thought it would be fun to send in my first email response to this week's PokéPoll. I thought it would be cool if, hear me out, Rayquaza could fuse with the Kanto birds. It would bring some new excitement to the trio of legendary birds who aren't so meta in the game. They would look like Rayquaza, but with the coloring and features from the birds. For example, Blaze Rayquaza, Moltres, would be covered in fire and be bright red.
Ooh.
The shinies would be the inverse, or the Rayquaza could be black with the specifically colored lines from the birds. Possible adventure effects would be like Necrozma, a sort of incense-adjacent lure for fire, ice, or electric-type Pokemon. There is no way this would ever happen, but it would be pretty awesome. Thanks, and shiny vibes all. Serious." I have one slight modification. They have to keep the wings in the sense that it would look like an Aztec flying serpent.
Oh yeah.
Which I almost listed another thing from WoW, but I don't remember the name of it. The final boss from Zul'Grub. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you look up like Aztec flying serpent, it's very much just Rayquaza, but it has wings sort of near where you would assume the base of the neck on the skeleton would be. So very, very close to the head. But definitely with the same theming of the coloration and stuff like that. Definitely for it. I love it.
I think as much as I love that it would how these potential fusions would look with Rayquaza, to me, I have to be like, oh, Hakar. That's what you're thinking of, by the way.
Yep.
The thing is that they would have to, in my mind, fuse with Lugia or Ho-Oh.
Yeah, but that's just bird with bird.
What's wrong with birds and birds, dog?
Well, it's more fun when it's two things that are not the same, so you can like rip elements off of one and stick it on the other. This
would then necessitate that if we continue that trend, it would be Rayquaza with the beasts?
Sure.
Or with Groudon or Kyogre, rather.
I mean, yeah, you do whatever you want, really.
And those would be different. I don't know. I'm just thinking because in Pokemon 2000, Lugia is like, keeping track of the boids. So that, I don't know. It seems to be a strong connection there. Look, but I cannot deny how cool the Rayquaza with the birds combos would be. So maybe I'll just keep it to myself.
That didn't work. People are there's some talented artists out there, by the way. If you don't know what Pokemon Infinite Fusion is. So yeah.
Yeah, some of the best sprite art for Pokemon stuff on that site, for sure.
All right. Last response in the form of an email comes from Will. And they said, "Hey, Chris and Kyle. First up front, I've been listening for a couple years now and have been meaning to write in to thank you for the great podcast. You've created such a cool space for a community. Every episode is so entertaining, and we make it easy to keep up with everything. Without you guys, I would 100% play less, so the Pokemon Company should really pay you. I said it because you can't. In terms of the PokéPoll, I've always thought that the unknowns are missing something. I would hunt them in the main series games, and after collecting them all, realize nothing happens. Imagine the ability to fuse all of them into a really powerful Pokemon. I have no idea what this would look like, but I'm up for it. We might also need a unique fusion process, but I'm sure if the Pokemon Company have time to give Dunsparce an evolution, they have time for this. Thanks again, and shiny vibes, Will."
That's where you're wrong.
Yeah. Dunsparce is special.
I'm not sure, and I'm not actually going to discuss them here because we don't do this. But Kyle, have you seen any of the alleged leaks for like the new megas coming in ZA?
I've seen the list of Pokemon that are allegedly getting megas.
Some of those choices are rather inspired.
Yeah, I'm for it.
I'll say that. I am for it, but a couple of them like, what are we doing? And there's one particular single stage that I'm excited about, but I'm still like, didn't need it.
I don't remember the list right now, so now.
Okay.
You'll have to tell me. That's right. Right. I did remember that. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on from that. We got like probably another 3 months before that game comes out, at least.
So true.
Early 2025. All right. This week's PokéPoll. The Pokemon Go Plus Plus is arguably a necessity for serious trainers. If you could design another accessory for Pokemon Go, what would it be, do, and look like? Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
do? I mean, it's so, the plus plus is like cool. And in a dream scenario, good movie, by the way. In a dream scenario, I would really like to actually just take that and ramp it up and make like a really cool wearable, like a really cool wearable. I almost want that more than a proper app for my Apple Watch. I'd rather have like a separate watch like thing or band like thing or a ring or something,
Yeah. I mean, part of me wants like an accessory that's like an incubator, but I don't know what it does. I want like, an incubator that's, like 3.5 inches, sort of like the Go Plus Plus.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I don't know what it does, but because we already are tracking our steps with the phone. So it's so hard.
Yeah.
Can I have Can I just have the Go Plus Plus collect max particles for me now?
Ooh, that would be good. That would be really, really good.
I'll pay another $50.
Hear me out. You've gotten to the heart of an idea that I have very close, near and dear to my heart, right? Because I love hatching eggs. I just want a Pokemon Go official singular tube sock for my egg hatching needs.
Oh my God.
If you know, and it's probably not what you're thinking unless you actually know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, sure. One, yeah. They come in packs of one.
We call them swing socks, right? And they're good. They don't get stretched out over time. Or hula socks because you're swinging them around like, or sling sock. A sling sock.
Sling sock. There you go. We workshopped it for 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there we go. But I'm trying to think of like a really good answer because a wearable feels like just such an easy answer to this question. I think, actually, no, I got it. I want the AR glasses. That's what I want.
AR glasses. Okay.
I do. I want to see the Pokemon. I want to be able to do some motion stuff where it sees my hands like Apple Vision Pro does, and I can do commands where like I switch Pokeballs, throw Pokeballs, all that stuff. I want to be that guy that you make sure you steer your family members away from in the public park. You're
going to be the guy that's out there with what the heck is Apple's VR called again?
Apple Vision Pro.
Apple Vision. There you go. Yeah. On the train.
The craziest thing about that is that piece of equipment is so stinking expensive. If you think your use case is people on a freaking public train, you're insane.
Look, you're absolutely right. But the amount of people I've seen posting pictures of somebody using it on the train.
I don't mean you. I don't mean you when I say you are insane. I mean Apple's marketing team. Like, who on earth was like, I was taking the brown line to work for commuting, and I was doing some stuff in my digital workspace. Like, okay, that digital workspace is going to get ripped off of your head in 3 minutes. Like,
it's so crazy.
That's crazy. It would never leave my house ever. Gosh. Oh man. But I want that tech. I want wearable glasses. I want, some some discrete version, like the Ray-Bans that have the cameras and stuff.
Okay,
like those would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Google Glass when?
Pokemon Glass.
Pokemon Glass. People would think that that's like a main series game, though, that we never got.
Oh,
you know?
God. Sounds like a really badly named ROM hack.
A little bit. So do you have any other answers, or should we throw it to our listeners, Kyle?
No, that's it. I've said my thoughts. I can't think of like a specific accessory, but
yeah.
Let me interact with max power points now.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Power spots.
That would be really, really nice. All right. Well, dear listener, if you have an answer to this week's Pokeball question, which is one more time, the Pokemon Go Plus is arguably a necessity for serious trainers. If you could design another accessory for Pokemon Go, what would it be, do, and look like? You can answer that question when you post it on our X or Threads account at GOCast Podcast. If you are a patron subscriber of ours and therefore in our patron exclusive Discord, we have an entire channel dedicated to that. If you're watching on YouTube, hello YouTube. Please subscribe, by the way, trying to hit 1,000. You guys have been great so far the past few weeks since I've been bringing it up. It's been wonderful. So please keep it coming. We're making great progress. You can leave a reply/comment to this video on YouTube and also on Spotify. You can leave a comment on the video with your response there as well if you'd like. But you can also send it to us via an email to mail@gocastpodcast.com or leave us a voicemail by calling 262-586-7717. And if you would like to hear all the spelling or read all the spelling for that stuff, go to our website, gocastpodcast.com, and look at the contact tab. All right. But speaking of emails, Mr. Kyle, where are we? It's been a couple weeks.
It's time for emails.
That's right. And no voicemails this week. So we're going to keep it nice and simple. We've got one email here. Kyle, would you do the honors?
All right. Email from Mattingly. They said, hey, Chris and Kyle, I'll keep it short for you. Do you think that Pokemon Go will ever make it so that we can give gear to your friends? In Ingress, there is a capsule drop where a player can give another player excess gear for them to use. I wish they could find a way because I'm level 50 and I would love to be able to give my kids any of my 96 incense or 78 lucky eggs that I've collected over the last few years. It would have been handy during Unova Tour as I had 48 premium battle passes, but my son only had 16, and I wish I could have given him some of those too. And also for the PvP podcast, they mentioned something about who would have the 296 XL Spoink candies to max out a Grumpig. I have 610 XL Spoink candies.
Whoa!
I suggest a Pokemon Go Plus all day at work. I have it going all day at work and outside of running out of Pokeballs every few days. It's a great way to get this stuff.
Yeah.
Look, first thing I have to say, it's impressive that it stays connected all day at work.
Yep. I just want to say that's like just 2 psychic spectaculars and you're set for Spoink for the rest of your life.
I'm set for Spoink for my rest of my life already.
Yeah, man.
Hope you have the day you deserve, Mattingly. P.S. I miss the daily single-use incubators. I walk about 130 kilometers a week at work as a warehouse worker, and I use them all for 10-kilometer eggs recently. So there's a small thing here. You can use some items for other players right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a party, you can share your premium items with the party and it divides evenly. So it's not a perfect system, but you can make a party of 2 and each of you will get 30 minutes for a lucky egg instead of 60. And so that's an option. The battle passes are fair. It's all such a difficult slope because you can get them for free over time, technically. Yeah. And they don't want people trading them from other accounts that are not using them. But it is nice that there's a way to use up incense and lucky eggs and star pieces that way.
Yeah, there would have to be some sort of cost associated with it because, they don't want you to have like 2 phones and be multi-accounting and like log in and get, do like 3 steps of a free research and then start funneling all that stuff to your main account because then
you got to think, you can get a free raid pass or something from like a seasonal research and you can make a new account over and over again somewhere and
or a remote pass from a weekly breakthrough. Like there's stuff hidden everywhere.
It could be like, tied to being best friends or something like that's something that they could do to limit it. and maybe, you know, limit the number you can do it, you know, maybe only 1 or 2 or something. There might be something there, but I think that Niantic thinks it's not worth the headache.
Yeah, I think
abuse.
That's probably the case. I think what they think is that the party play is good enough and the other items are just premium and therefore would mess with the economy, so don't bother it, you know?
The party play is really nice. It's really nice in concept.
Yeah.
But when you actually get down to the execution and you think about the numbers of everything, it's like, what you get into a group, everybody uses 1 and you have an hour, and so therefore nothing has changed, or you use 4 so that everybody can have 1, in which case, you know, give your friend $1, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're truly like, I'm at level 50 and I don't care about XP, but I keep getting these lucky eggs from events and other things, right? Like,
that's fair.
My problem.
I don't think that lucky egg problem is nearly as big a deal as people make it out to be. How many lucky eggs do you have right now?
I was about to say,
because I'm sure you don't use them for anything.
I don't use them for anything. I'm not a big. My big number go up is not that.
Yeah, so I'm curious. I'm curious how many you have right now.
Do you think I have?
I think you have 25.
I have 53.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many?
Because I have a hard time throwing them out, and I never use them.
I think I have like 8.
You know,
they're not a reward that often.
But you
people
need
make
them.
It out like every research gives you 1. But anyways.
You need them though still. That's
but I mean, I use them, but I'm just saying that like I don't think that researchers actually give them out that much.
They used
actually
to.
I do actually currently have 8. That was just a guess. Okay.
Wow, look at you. You got that Neuralink implant, right? And it's going right to your Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's just what I need that for.
Look, if your brain is going to explode anyway, might as well, I guess, right? No, I'm just kidding. Don't ever do that. But yeah, I really think that's kind of the end all be all. Unfortunately, they'd have to overhaul the whole system and revisit how the party play item stuff works if they really wanted to make this a reality. But I think they have this vision of how the game economy works and how they leverage those things for value for ticketed researches and stuff, that it just would throw all of it out of whack and would probably hurt us in the long run, because it would probably cause some sort of like item inflation, you know? Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Mattingly. If you would like to send us an email, just like Mattingly did this week, you can by sending it to mail@gocastpodcast.com. You can also leave us a voicemail, like we said earlier. This also works for this section by calling 262-586-7717, or you could just email me a voice recording if you'd like. Just fair warning with the voice recording, if it's over like 3-ish minutes, it'll probably not be used because we like to keep them nice and short so everybody gets an opportunity if they want to. But if it's got to be 3:30, just be like, hey, it's a little bit longer. Sorry about that. And it'll probably be fine. All right. Follow us on X and Threads at GOCast Podcast. And if you'd like to help support the show, please do via Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That's spelled Patreon, then .com/GoCast Podcast, or just search for us. We have undeservedly excellent SEO that I didn't do anything for. And I'd like to brag about it because it's a gift. It's a gift from Arceus itself, truly. Now, Kyle, I know the last show that you were on, you did the Elite Trainers, but last week when I did the solo show, I had to do it. So it's your turn again. Sorry to say.
Okay. Shout out to Elite Trainers Bo, Daniel, Lori, Michael, Ozzy, Arkham, Marvin and Mimi, Sports Thayer, Jason, Justin, Charles, Mottersley, William, Brandon, Ethan, Stephen, Nick, our favorite listener, Jutu, Camo, The Ugly Rock, Jacob, Victoria, Sarah, Laura, Memorandums, Nabil, Tish, Jacob, Matthew, Don, John, Paul, Micah, Sean, Dave, and Nessakal.
Marco,
there we go. I did it.
John instead of Sean was a good one.
What? No, I think I was out of
John. Maybe John.
John.
That's kind of what I heard. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Appreciate y'all for helping us keep the digital lights on, amongst other things. Okay. If you'd like to help support the show in a non-monetary way, of course, please leave us a review. That's actually super duper important. and we'll love you forever for it. So thank you. All right, we got to set some goals, and then we are out of here for this week. Some upcoming events. We've got the Bug Out 2025 event starting tomorrow, Wednesday. And then over this weekend, we've got the Fuzzy Buddy Research Day. So what are we thinking about doing? Kyle's actually got his goals already popping. I don't have any yet. Oh, gosh, you get to go first. This is what you've done to yourself.
Want to make sure I get Sizzlipede, which probably just do a few 1-star raids. Hopefully they're around. Gotta get through my Giovanni now that I actually just did the Ciara. So, yep, gonna clear out those research, hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully tomorrow. God. 200,000 experience. Do I want to do the Fuzzy Buddy research? I'm not gonna pay the ticket, so I don't. We'll say one shiny that will hopefully or probably be from the Fuzzy Buddy Research Day.
Okay.
But could be from something else. So,
okay. All right. For myself, I would also like a Sizzlipede. I'd like several. I'd like to get a Centiskorch, honestly. I would like to do the Fuzzy Buddy Research Day ticket and whatever other research is associated with it. Same with the Bug Out, the ticket and the research associated with that. 50 eggs is a minimum and 2 shiny. And since it's a bug week, I'm hoping that my motivation is heightened. Because I was just reviewing what's in the Bug Out event, and I forgot that we've got like Cleavor in raids and Caesar in raids, Scyther Nincada in 1-star raids. So like if I really wanted to, I could go out and start trying to really have some good shots at those hundos. For years, since the game started, I've been looking for a hundo Scyther, and I still have not gotten one, despite lots of trades. Like almost anytime somebody's like, hey, I want a lucky trade. And they're like, can I have this hatted shiny Pikachu from this event 3 years ago that's really rare? I'm like, sure. You give me a Scyther? Yeah. Or a Cyndaquil, you know? Oh my gosh. So that's the name of that game for sure. Oh, I forgot. I'm also going to buy the new avatar items, the Scolipede jacket and the Sizzlipede boots, because I'm going to look like that for the rest of my life. Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Vanity aside, that's the end of the show. Thank you all for listening so much. And we'll see you next week for episode 320. Until then, shiny vibes. Bye.
Bye.